You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, I've got your early weekly spoilers for April 28th through May 2nd. We're going to talk about Summer raging, Sally scheming, and Holden stalking. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. If you're not following us, please click that subscribe button. On Wednesday, April 23rd, Daniel asked Tessa to teach him how to play the guitar. He feels stuck creatively and thinks that learning this skill will help him. She agrees, but reminds him he has a rock star dad, Danny Romalotti, who could teach him. But that's not what he wants. So Tessa and Daniel start their guitar lesson at Crimson Lights. And I do have to say, if I paid for a cappuccino to sit and relax and read my book and I had to listen to Daniel learning to play his first notes, I'd be a little annoyed. I might have to call the manager. And I'm not one who ever likes to do that, but that would be so annoying. Amy's good day she had with Damian gets even better on Wednesday when Nate says the oncologist called to update and say her treatment is going really well. And the oncologist wants Amy to head to Boston for a more aggressive treatment that's going to buy her a lot more time. She agrees, and Damian and Nate both decide to go along with her. And Damian is thrilled that this will give him and his mom, Amy, more time to reconcile and patch up their relationship. It's all hugs and love over at Nate's apartment. Meanwhile, Sally tells Audra that Phyllis is a huge source of chaos, who is using Billy by demanding constant attention, and he keeps feeding the beast by giving it to her. Audra questions whether Sally is threatened by her, and Sally says she's not, but there's an off chance, a little suspicion there that Phyllis may be hoping for something more with Billy. So Audra thinks the best thing for Sally to do is play dirty and push Phyllis out of Billy's life. Holden's acting really skeevy around Audra, and Sally notices, but Audra will not talk about her past with him. And Sally recommends that she keep him away from Nate because Holden is clearly making eyes at Audra and it's not friendly, and she thinks Nate will notice. So Holden tries to get Audra to stay and have a drink after Sally leaves, but she won't. And then Holden asks for a job at her new company. Audra takes off and finds Amy, Damian, and Nate packing to leave for Boston. She's fine with them going because, of course, Audra wants the very best for Amy. Plus, it'll give Audra a chance to conspire, and she gets right to it, calling Victor to discuss the company she wants him to buy her. Phyllis barges into Billy's place, and he tells her she cannot force Daniel to work at AbbottCom. But Phyllis keeps on nagging and just being high energy and totally cray-cray like usual about how if she doesn't do this, Daniel's going to spiral out. She seems to be the one spiraling, just side note. And then Sally shows up just in time to hear Billy hit Phyllis with an ultimatum. He says, drop the Daniel stuff or you're out. Billy is taking a my way or the highway approach, which stuns Sally. It also takes Phyllis by surprise, and she storms out really, really ticked off. On Thursday, April 24th, Victor's keeping Nikki in the dark about more than one thing. And I wonder if she's going to walk in when he's on the phone with Audra. Once he hears that Claire is moving in with Kyle, obviously Victor is going to pressure Audra to pick up the pace, break them up now or no deal. And Victor is also starting to make party plans for Nikki's big birthday shindig. So Victor's got a lot on his plate, none of which he wants his wife to know about. Speaking of wives, Diane brings Jack and Kyle home to the Abbott mansion to reveal the big renovation she had done. Diane brings them in with eyes closed, don't peek, and then does the full, how they do on those decorating shows. I had a friend that was on one of those decorating shows, by the way, and the producers told us it was taking place at her house. It was one of those Surprised by Design. That's what the show it was on. I actually got to participate in the episode. The producer told us that the reaction they always want is tears, whether it's tears of joy or tears of horror and sadness, but they always want tears. So hopefully Jack will not be giving tears of horror or sadness. Victoria and Cole talk to Claire as she shares the news that she is in love with Kyle. He is in love with her, and they're going to move in together with Harrison. Her parents are supportive, but Cole and Victoria also know that this is probably going to cause big strife among the Newman family once Victor finds out. Friday, April 25th, Diane is really hoping to impress Jack with what she had done. Now, she told him it was only a refresh, but Diane is so happy with how it turned out, and hopefully he will be too. So obviously this carries over from Thursday. For Kyle, he's about to move out. So he may say, good work, Mom, got to pack my bags. And obviously Jack and Diane are supportive of him and Claire. Chelsea has some questions for Adam about his motivation for something he's done. Could be personal or professional. Victor may be aiming Adam at the Abbotts again because of his vendetta, because of Kyle and Claire. Maybe he gets Billy in particular, because Adam's been very clear he's not going to take pot shots at Jack. Lily questions Audra on Friday, and of course she's acting sketchy while Nate is out of town dealing with Amy's treatment. So I expect Lily to start keeping a closer eye on Audra, because she's given off weird vibes and Lily's spidey senses are tingling. April 28th through May 2nd takes us fully into May sweeps, and so we're on a countdown to the arrival of Dumas. I just really hope it's worth all the weeks of us having to listen to the name Aristotle Dumas. And of course, Billy Flynn is going to make his Young and the Restless debut any day now, so he's probably our mystery man. I'm excited for you guys to see Billy if you've never seen his work. He is awesome. Adam may feel some pressure from Victor next week because of the escalating plot against Jack. And Victor may weaponize Adam against Billy Boy, and the whole Claire and Kyle thing is just going to have Victor amping up, getting out of control, putting the pressure on. Next week, with Nate out of town, we're going to have more of Holden sniffing around Audra. Something doesn't sit right with Lily, and with Nate in Boston and Holden lurking, we may see Lily doing a little light stalking to keep an eye on Nate's girl. But Lily may be surprised when she sees that Audra is aiming at Kyle and not Holden. Jack's approval of Diane's reno of the Abbott mansion is a huge thing to her. I do expect it'll go over well, but we'll see. And then, of course, we have to wait to get the sisters' reactions when Tracy and Ashley are back in town from New York City, because they are definitely out for now. Claire and Kyle are all in love and they're moving in together. They're going to start apartment hunting this week, but that means Victor and Summer are both going to find out and realize they're almost out of time. Nikki and Victoria are firmly on Claire's side, but that doesn't matter to Victor. He's going to amp up his efforts, and Summer will realize this is her last chance to stop it. Look for scenes with Cameron Grimes back as Mariah Copeland soon. I'm guessing she's over with Sharon and Nick in Europe. They had initially talked about her going and then not, so maybe that's why Tessa is all alone teaching Daniel the opening notes to Smoke on the Water, the quintessential song for everyone learning to strum a six string.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.